Picture this. You've been following the no contact rule, thinking it's the ultimate move to make her miss you. The idea is simple. Create space, and she'll start to feel your absence, eventually chasing after you. But here's the harsh truth. No contact is a passive move. It's a strategy of waiting, of sitting back and hoping for her to come to you. But what if I told you that it's not enough? What if I told you there's a far more powerful way to make her crave your attention? The truth is, the real power doesn't lie in disappearing or cutting her off entirely. It lies in something far more intense, far more calculated, and far more stoic. You see, no contact doesn't assert your presence. It merely removes it. What you want is something that makes her feel your absence while remaining a constant presence in her mind. Instead of disappearing into thin air, you need to strategically control your energy and interaction with her. Welcome back to Mindful Stoicism. Here, we focus on strategies rooted in control, self-mastery, and psychological insight. No contact is weak because it's reactive. It's a sign of desperation in waiting. The true Stoic approach doesn't leave things to chance or rely on someone else's actions to dictate your outcome. Instead, you take the lead and move with purpose. And do this instead, and watch her crumble. What I'm about to reveal is going to shift the entire dynamic in your favor, allowing you to stay emotionally in control while driving her to the edge of obsession. Trust me, you'll start seeing results quickly, and the power will shift from her hands back into yours. Stay tuned, because this is the move you've been missing all along. Introduction. The concept of no contact has become a popular strategy for many in the dating world. It's often hailed as the ultimate method to make someone miss you. The idea is simple. By cutting all communication, you give the other person space to reflect and realize your worth. Sounds effective, right? But here's the catch: no contact is a passive strategy. It's a reactionary move that assumes your absence will automatically lead to her missing you. But this strategy doesn't guarantee anything. It's like waiting for a storm to pass without any real plan of action. In reality, true power in relationships doesn't come from silence or passivity. It comes from active engagement, from being present in a way that commands respect and admiration without needing to chase after it. No contact might leave her wondering what happened, but it doesn't provide any insight into who you are, what you stand for, or why you are worth her attention in the first place. In fact, it can leave her feeling like she can easily forget about you, especially if she's not emotionally invested. That's where the Stoic mindset comes into play. Instead of relying on a passive strategy like no contact, Stoicism teaches us how to control our emotions, shape our environment, and influence the dynamics of a relationship from a position of strength. It's not about running away or disappearing. It's about making your presence felt in a way that is impossible to ignore. By mastering your emotions and actions, you can create a power dynamic that makes her crave you without needing to wait for her to come to you. In this video, I'll show you how to implement a far more effective strategy that goes beyond no contact one, that gives you the upper hand and leaves her wondering just how powerful you truly are. 2. The problem with no contact. The no contact rule has been hailed as a foolproof method to make someone miss you, but the reality is a bit more complicated. While it's true that stepping back and creating space can sometimes make a person realize your value, it's not the ultimate solution. In fact, no contact often falls short because it's a passive strategy. It's based on the assumption that simply disappearing from her life will trigger an emotional reaction. But here's the catch. Not everyone will respond the way you expect. For one, no contact can easily be misinterpreted. When you vanish without a word, she may not necessarily miss you. She could simply move on, thinking you've lost interest or that you're just playing games. In her mind, your silence might not represent the deep emotional absence you're hoping for. Instead, it could feel like indifference or a sign that you're not worth the effort. In some cases, the lack of communication doesn't lead to longing, it leads to forgetting. Moreover, no contact is based on the concept of waiting. You're not actively doing anything to influence the situation. You're essentially hoping for a reaction without taking control. But true emotional power comes from action, not from being a passive observer. By relying solely on no contact, you surrender control over your own actions and emotions, putting everything in her hands and hoping she'll come back to you. But here's the problem with that. This strategy doesn't address what's happening inside of you. It doesn't build your emotional resilience or push you to grow. It simply stalls the process. The real solution is to take a more calculated, stoic approach, one where you're in control of your own actions and emotions, where you shape the situation instead of waiting for it to unfold on its own. The Stoic power move. Now that you understand why no contact can often backfire, let's dive into the real game-changing move, the Stoic power move. Unlike no contact, which relies on passivity and distance, the Stoic power move is about taking active control over your own presence and emotional energy. It's a calculated strategy that puts you in a position of strength, allowing you to remain calm, composed, and entirely in control no matter how she reacts. The first key to this power move is self-mastery. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on ourselves, mastering our thoughts and emotions, rather than being swayed by external circumstances. In the context of relationships, this means no longer relying on her attention or validation to feel good about yourself. You become a person who doesn't need anyone to complete them, because your worth is grounded in your own principles and actions. When you master yourself, you create a presence that is magnetic and unapologetically strong. The second aspect of the Stoic power move is detachment with purpose. Instead of disappearing from her life, you engage with a sense of purpose. You're still present, but on your own terms. You're not available all the time, and you certainly don't chase after her approval. Instead, you maintain a sense of emotional distance, controlling your reactions and behavior. This creates an emotional challenge for her. She starts to feel the tension of your unpredictable presence, making her wonder why she can't get a clear read on you. This subtle, calculated detachment pushes her into a state of uncertainty, and uncertainty leads to curiosity, which fuels attraction. Finally, the Stoic power move is about creating a sense of mystery and respect. 2. When you stop seeking validation and give her space to figure things out, you elevate your value in her eyes. Your calm, composed demeanor becomes a reflection of your inner strength, and that's what will make her want to come closer. You're not forcing anything. You're simply standing strong and letting her see the impact of your presence. 4. The psychological effect. The psychological effect is where things get truly interesting. When you stop playing the waiting game and instead shift to a more powerful and calculated approach, something profound happens. You're no longer just another person in her life. You become a figure of emotional intrigue, someone who commands her attention without the need for desperation or constant validation. See, when you're actively present but not emotionally dependent on her responses, you flip the script. Women are drawn to what they can't have or control, and when you stop chasing her or seeking constant attention, you create a psychological vacuum. She begins to wonder why you're no longer as available, why you're not pouring your energy into her like you used to. She may even begin questioning what she's missing, especially when she realizes that you're not playing by the same rules anymore. This creates a subtle but powerful emotional push and pull. Her curiosity spikes as she tries to figure out why you're no longer putting in the same effort. She'll feel your absence, but not in the way she might expect. This absence is charged with mystery. It's the absence of someone who's still around but not easily accessible, the absence of someone who's growing in ways she doesn't fully understand. The more you maintain this emotionally detached yet subtly present approach, the more she'll start to feel that emotional disconnect. The psychological effect is this. When she feels like she's losing control over you, it stirs a deep emotional response. She'll start obsessing over your next move, wondering what you're doing and why you're not chasing her like others might. This creates a sense of longing, a pull she can't resist. And in this way, the power dynamic completely shifts. You're no longer the one missing her, she's the one missing you. 5. Stoic reflection. Now that you understand the power shift and the psychological effect of this strategy, it's time to reflect on the deeper Stoic principles behind it. Stoicism teaches us to be in control of our actions, emotions, and perceptions, no matter the external circumstances. When it comes to relationships, this principle is incredibly powerful. Instead of reacting emotionally or impulsively, you're choosing to respond with wisdom, detachment, and clarity. The goal isn't to manipulate or play games, it's to embody strength and let that strength naturally pull people toward you. When you pull back in a way that demands attention, you're embodying the Stoic concept of amor fati, the love of fate. You're accepting whatever comes your way, whether it's her response or lack of response, without allowing it to disturb your inner peace. Your actions aren't driven by anxiety or the need to control outcomes, but by an understanding that the only thing you truly have control over is yourself. This mindset frees you from the need for validation or reassurance from others, and in doing so, it makes you more magnetic. The true power of this Stoic strategy lies in your ability to maintain inner calm, regardless of how she reacts. You've shifted the focus from waiting for her to miss you to focusing on the only thing that truly matters, your own emotional mastery. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Mindful Stoicism for more powerful strategies and Stoic wisdom that will change the way you approach attraction, relationships, and life itself. Drop a comment below on how you plan to shift the power in your favor. Remember, your strength lies in your ability to control yourself, not the other person. Stay powerful, stay calm, and let the world bend to your will. Until next time, stay mindful, stay stoic.